Yo, it's your boy AJ. I'm here with Chubbs. It's Boston just went up 3-0 on the Mavs. Are they going to win the NBA finals? We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. You're now tuning in the Hoops World.
Hoops World.
James. Right here, the king is like, hey, guess what? I'm still the king.
I hit the streets just to get a bag. I pack, he got toe tagged. I punched the nigga for shorty. I'm John Woo with the 40. You not gang or the homie. Don't blow me, no, you don't know me. Gang shit, members only. You wasn't there, I was lonely. You wasn't there, I was lonely. Dog nights, blicky on me. I was just stacking my commas up. Head down, trying to run it up. These niggas be...
Yeah, man, it's looking very shaky for the Mavs. Very, very, very shaky. This is very, very bad. I mean, in my mind says it's over, but hey, it's not over till we see 4-0 or 4-1, 4-2. So we're gonna, for the sake of the content, we gotta keep hope alive for the Mavs fans. But we'll start about this game, man. The first quarter, man, the Mavs came out really, really hot. They jumped down to a 9-2 lead. Kyrie and Luka were hitting on all cylinders. Kyrie had 9, Luka had 13. Jason Tatum finally got out of his hole of his terrible play. He had 13, 4 for 7, 2 of 4 for threes in the first quarter. Sam Hauser was actually really good in his first quarter. So the Mavs jumped out in that first, and then Boston closed 28-22. So it was a 31-30 first quarter for the Mavs. They were up by 1. We get into the second quarter, and I think it's just you think the Mavs, like I said, you thought the home court was going to make these role players play better, but again, Kyrie and Luka were just incredible in this first half. Talk about what you saw in the first half, bro.
Honestly, this first half, like, it kind of just showed the Mavs just got this team. I mean, the Celtics just got the Mavs number.
Yeah.
So the news came out, KP is out. That finally leaves a little more room to drive to the rim from the perspective of the Mavs. Luka's going crazy. Kyrie finally wakes up the series.
Yeah.
And you still somehow are down at halftime or struggling to up at halftime at home.
Yeah, up at halftime. They were up by 1, literally 1 point.
Sam Hauser comes in and plays the game of his career.
Yeah, he was really great. Like I remember I texted in a group chat. I was like, "Yo, Sam Howard is playing great defense, and he's hitting every single three." There's a 5 points. Yeah,
bro, he's never like this. I've never seen him hoop like this.
Yeah, bro, he was like guarding Kyrie and Luke on the perimeter. Huge 5-point swing in the end of the second quarter, and then like Kyrie and Luka had 37 of the Mavs 51 points at halftime. They were up 51-50. The Mavs were shooting 33% from 3. Mavs and Celtics both shot 33% from 3. Tatum woke up finally. Jaylen Brown was kind of like a no-show in that first half. And again, this just shows you how like deep the Celtics go, because Tatum, Horford, and Hauser were the keys in that first half to keep the Celtics in the game against the Kyrie and Luka show. Then we get to the third quarter, and the Celtics just go crazy. Jaylen Brown, oh my God, Jaylen Brown in this third quarter, man. The Celtics outscored the Mavs 35-19 in the third quarter. I remember texting y'all, and I was like, "It's over." It's everybody in the Twitter. It's over. It's over. It's gone. The game's over. Jaylen Brown had 15 points, 3 assists. What do you think went wrong for the Mavs in that third quarter? Why were the Celtics just owning them in that third, bro? Like, why?
Like I said, they just got their number. Like, it's one of the things you can't fully explain it.
Yeah.
It's like when a team just knows how to counter you, where almost at every position is a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you pile it on with the fact the role players are really just shooting well. They haven't the whole series. Really, it was up until game. It was really just the Luka versus the Celtics until Kyrie really started. Well,
balling.
I guess the home court advantage only worked for Kyrie, just not everybody else.
Yeah, basically.
But the Celtics, they just did what they wanted. There was no real, how would I say it? There's no real challenge from Mavs to say, okay, you can't play a game. You got to play a game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there was no type of combat. They were just so submitted to the Celtics game.
Yeah, and then you just see like the Celtics, like, and the Celtics live or die by 3, but you see sometimes Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think they did a good job of this, and because in the Eastern playoffs, like they didn't really do this as much. Like they went sometimes they go attack the rim a lot. Like they get in the points in the paint. Jason Tatum points in the paint, but this third quarter it was led by Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was going crazy, going to the rim. He hit a couple threes, 15 points in that third. We get to the fourth, and the Celtics are up 21. So I'm over here watching the game like, oh, this is done. Like I'm just watching just to watch. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This run that the Mavs go on, it's just insane. 20-2 run in the fourth quarter. Celtics were up 21, 20-2 run in the fourth quarter. And it's a 3-point game with a minute left. I mean, I think it was like 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left for a 3-point game. And I'm like, oh my God, can the Mavs do this? Is Boston gonna choke? And then the Luka defense. We're gonna talk about Luka's defense tonight because it was just. You think who's gonna get the blame? You think? I mean, Luka did. If you look at the stats, right? You look at the stats, you're gonna see Luka and Kyrie played great. You're gonna see Luka and Kyrie stats, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, Luka had 30. Luka had 27. Kyrie had 35 and 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Luka had 27, 6 assists, but you're not gonna see like the in-betweens, like the defense he was playing, the stupid fouls he was doing, the complaining to the refs. Like there was a couple possessions where he would just complain to the refs so much, and then they wouldn't like come like the transition buckets will go in. Like Luke will be on the floor complaining, and in the meantime, like Jaylen Brown's driving all the way to the rim and like, so it's like
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'll fault to interrupt, but
Yeah,
there
you
was
good.
no voice in this on that locker room to tell Luka to just, bro, stop talking to the ref and hoop. Like there should have been at least. I think Jason Kidd, stop talking to the ref, just hoop. Like we saw moments in the series when it was just purely we didn't try to bait for foul. We were actually keeping up with the Celtics. So I don't know why star player you don't be like, like get it together. This is finals thing. This isn't the regular season where you can flail your arms. It's gonna just be a foul. You gotta open. And I think that biggest obstacle for Luka. On top of that, he's not the best defensive guy on the floor. Celtics picked him apart along with Kyrie, and you saw it now. Got affected in the most crucial part of the game. I mean, he got held out.
Yeah. The Celtics they did a great job. This whole series has done a great job of attacking Luka. Like they know he's like the weakest link, so they're gonna attack him on the defensive end. And early on, like I feel like the Mavs were things that like Porziņģis being out, the Mavs were really hitting the points in the paint really hard in that first half. Like they were getting to the rim with ease, like all these lays. But then the third quarter and fourth quarter, I just feel like they were missing Kyrie and Luka were missing a lot of easy bunnies. And they kind of settled for like bad shots, and then they were turning the ball over. Luka really, this kind of determined the game. I think it was with 2 minutes left. I gotta look back the play-by-play, but Luka fouled out with about 2 minutes. It was huge because I looked at the play over again. I'm like, all right, this is definitely a block. But I'm like, is Adam Silver gonna make the call? Because everybody's like, you can't foul out Luka with 2 minutes left, and the game is on the line for NBA Finals. I'm thinking in my head like, Adam Silver might make the call and be like, overturn that. Luka's still in the game, but they kept it. They kept it 100. They fouled out Luka, which everybody was just like, oh my God, it's over after that. Kyrie did it. Kyrie tried. Like I said, Kyrie I think he hit a midi. He had a nice pass to Derek Lively, but every time the Mavs got close, Jaylen Brown would just hit a clutch shot in mid-range, clutch dunk, clutch layup. I think Derek White had a clutch bucket in the end too, but Jaylen Brown just responded every single time. The Celtics needed him for a bucket in the end, and it was over after that. Big scope of things, I think it's over. Like I think obviously Celtics are going to be the NBA champions, but what do you think? If the Mavs had I don't even want to like think if the Mavs have a chance, but like, I could see the Mavs having a game 4. Like I could see winning game 4 because if you're the Mavs, you're telling yourself, okay, game 1 they got us, we kind of walked them down, but game 1 they got us, it was a blowout. Game 2 it was close in the end, but we couldn't pull it out. Game 3 they got us in the third, but hey, if Luka doesn't foul out, we would have won this. So what are you telling yourself for Game 4 and Game 5? Like, how do you approach this? And Porzingis is not going to play, but what do you think? If you're a Mavs fan, like, what are you thinking right now?
Pray. I mean, look, you're down 3-1, down 3-0. Every game's a final. Like, I know it's the finals, but not every game's kind of just a final. So you need to go out with that type of attitude. I'm just get one game at a time if you're the Mavs.
It's like, bro, it's like the role players gotta at least, like, we can't get one game where PJ Washington can't go off. Tim Hardaway had 0 points tonight.
Derrick Jones Jr. was there.
Yeah, like you can't get one. Like, okay, PJ had 13. Derrick Jones had 2. Gafford 6. Tim Hardaway 0 points in 19 minutes, 0 for 5. Derek Lively 11. Like, you can't get a game where like Hardy gives you 20 or PJ gives you 20. Derrick Jones gives you. You can't get one game. Like, it's crazy because like Boston has so many weapons, and then the role players for the Mavs, you would think at home, like, oh my God, the role players are gonna play better, but it just wasn't the case. Like, PJ didn't start hitting shots until late third, maybe fourth. Actually, fourth quarter. He didn't hit shots till the fourth, to be honest, on that 22 run. That's when he started hitting shots. But it just gotta get the Game 4, you just gotta get one game where the role players on the Mavs are just actually hitting shots. Like, help Luka and Kyrie at least one game. It was just Luka before, but Kyrie joined the party now. At least help them one game, like, to get at least play for pride. That's what I'm saying in the end.
Yeah,
just play for pride. You're probably not going to win this series, but play for pride. And then going forward with the Mavs, if let's say they get eliminated, Mavs off season, we'll do a little early Mavs off season talk. Everybody on their bench, I think, is coming back outside of Derrick Jones Jr. I think he's on a vet min. Max Kleber signed. Tim Hardaway signed another year. Lively, of course. Josh Green's coming back. Exum, I think he might be on a veteran minimum. I got to double check. I think he might leave or he might be out of there. Hardy's coming back. Marcus Morris might be on a vet min. But in my opinion, like we were saying before this, they got to get a third option. They desperately need a third option. Now, if they could somehow swing Brandon Ingram, I mean, that could be a nice little piece.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
In fantasy land,
Mm.
I'd call the Clippers about Paul George.
Mm.
I don't think it definitely won't happen. I don't think Ball would never let that happen. But contact the Clippers about Paul George and see that.
Yeah, yeah.
But more realistic, I'll see what Julius Randle. What's up with him?
Yeah.
I would say Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I agree.
But like that Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle tier of guys.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of missing me right now.
Lauri Markkanen. I don't know if he would be on the table, but Lauri, if you can get Lauri Markkanen, maybe.
Shot in the dark, a Kyle Kuzma type of guy.
Kyle Kuzma, yeah, they need a big wing that could play defense and score at a high level, a shot create. Like that Paul George prototype is perfectly what they need. Like, because Tim Hardaway was supposed to be that, but Tim Hardaway was complete ass this whole postseason, and he don't even play defense. He's not even a good defender like that. He's not like a Paul George.
THJ, his time is up, Maverick.
Yes,
his time is up. You probably get him out of here, see what you can get. It's probably like the best package you get, unless you want a PJ. Which why would you do that?
Yeah, they need a backup point guard, a strong wing that could defend and like I said, score, rebound, and defend. Kind of like a Paul George. You were saying Brandon Ingram, like a big, strong wing, six tall wing. And then maybe a shooting big. Instead of Maxi Kleber, you need to replace him with another big that's actually going to shoot, not be scared to shoot a three, and just a better rebounder and defender. More like toughness. They need something more tough than Maxi Kleber.
That's the thing. We can replace Maxi Kleber with that guy, Davis Bertans over there.
Yeah.
Might as well just keep him. Like those tall 3 or 4s type of things. It's like can't really find it, especially like if you want a sharp shooting 4. Like
it's hard to find it. I know it's hard. Like Nico, like I said, Nico did a tremendous job. Arguably, probably Brad Stevens is definitely the one. He won the Executive of the Year this year. Like he's the number 1 GM in the league. But Nico definitely would be my number 2. Like if I were to give GM of the year, it would definitely go to Nico because Nico did an incredible job. But he just got to tweak certain parts of his team, like to help Kyrie and Luka. Like he did it already, but he's got to do it again. Like he's got to just fine tune it. You got to fine tune it because Boston is just. It's just this roster is almost flawless because KP goes down, and I'm watching Sam Hauser and Xavier Tillman hit threes, and I'm like, when did Brad Stevens make these? Like, when did Brad Stevens trade for Tillman?
They didn't need to do that. It's just the fact that they can, like it's not even needed.
Tillman was playing great defense, hitting through. I'm like, when did Brad Stevens know? Like, oh shit, I might have to, make this slide trade for Xavier Tillman, or it's just really a masterclass. But make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Hoops World Zero on Instagram and TikTok. It's looking like the Celtics are going to be the champions, man. Boston fans, you guys are on a high, man. But appreciate you guys so much. Hit that like button.